Hey guys, it's Technical Freak here, and welcome to episode 32 of my custom story creation tutorial for Amnesia Rebirth. And today we're going to be going over part 2 of making custom signs. So this is actually a bit of a custom meshes video, because we will be making our own custom mesh to put on the sign here. If just to recap the last episode, we went ahead and we made this sign here. We put down the sign, we put down the zoom area, and we talked about zoom areas, and we put the text here that we wanted to show the player. But this is just one built-in one in the game for when you have to do gunpowder in the Amnesia Rebirth story. But we want to put our own here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create our own one. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one right here, and we're going to create our own mesh for this. We won't really be doing much in the level editor and in programming or anything like that, any coding. It's mostly just going to be a little bit of image work and just file work. So it should be a pretty short video. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the root directory of Amnesia. So here I am. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, I believe it is textures and decals. So we'll be making our own decal, our own mesh. And what we're going to be doing is going in the Arabic folder here, and this is where we have our like images and stuff. So I'm going to take after the one that we just had here, the gunpowder mix sign, and we're going to copy these two first ones here. This one is the material file, and this is the DDS file. So we're going to go ahead and copy both of these, and we're going to place them in our custom story folder. We're going to make a new folder in here, and we're going to call it let's call it textures. And then in here we'll make another folder, and we'll call it we could pretty much call it whatever we want. We'll say decals, just to keep it organized. And in here you can name it whatever you want. So I'm not going to separate them by categories or anything like that. I'm just going to throw it right in here. But if you had different maps and you wanted to separate the decals by maps, kind of like the way that the developers do it, you can go ahead. Like this map I have here is called starting room. So we could do starting room, and then just copy these in there. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and throw it in here, since we don't plan to have too many decals in here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rename these. I'm thinking of making a message that pretty much just says like run. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to type in run message, and we'll do that to this one as well. So we'll say run message. And yeah, so we have these two. So this one, if you go into properties here, you can see that this is a .dds. I currently have it open with GIMP. If you're unaware with what GIMP is, we did an episode where we did a little bit of editing these kinds of like text DDS files, and we used GIMP. GIMP is a free image editing tool that you can use. So if you want, you can go ahead and download that. I'll put a link in the description. Of course, you don't have to use GIMP. You can use any other image editing program like Photoshop or something like that, whatever you prefer to use. This one is just free, and it's the one I'm going to be showing you guys in this video since it's accessible to everybody. So we're going to go ahead and open this file in GIMP. So I'll go ahead and open it here, and you should get a message if you're using GIMP how you want to import it. I'm just going to leave the defaults and hit OK. And now I have it loaded in my GIMP program right here. So what I'm pretty much going to do is copy the black in this background here. So I'm just going to use the eyedrop tool, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer here. We're going to say new layer, and then we're just going to say message. It doesn't really matter what this part is. What matters is what we export, but I'm just going to keep it organized, say message. And then we're going to go ahead and use the bucket tool here, and I'm just going to fill the background until it's completely black. So it's completely black here. And now we can go ahead and start painting over our message. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my eyedrop tool again here, and I'm going to grab a little bit of this white if possible here. We got to select the right layer here, so we'll grab a little bit of this white just so we match the same color tone. But you could write it, of course, in whatever color you prefer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use the paintbrush tool, and I'm going to use this specific brush right here, and I'll show you why. It kind of looks like a bit like a stroke. It has like gaps and stuff, so it looks like handwriting, because this one here does have gaps and has like a bit of like a handwriting kind of look to it. So I'm going to try and copy that, and I'm going to write it by hand. Of course, you can download your own font for your program and use your own custom font that you can download from the web. Might be better, that way you get something more specific. But I'm just gonna just for testing purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it here, and I'm just gonna write it out by hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and type and write out run here. So let me go ahead and hide this layer and select the layer I want to draw on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spell out run. So of course it's gonna be in like like a handwriting kind of thing. So there it is. It says run. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I don't want to save it up here. So if you're editing your projects here, you might want to save this as a project file. If you save it as a project file, you can come back and edit this message down the line. I'm not gonna save anything. I'm just gonna export the image that I've made here, the DDS image. So I'm gonna go ahead and do file, and then I can go ahead and overwrite the original image, or I can do an export as and select a new location here. I'm probably just gonna overwrite it here. So I'll just say overwrite run message, and that way I overwrite the original image. So with that, we're pretty much done. You don't need to do anything else. It already exports to the DDS. One thing I want to know, if you do an export as and you hit export here, I'll just say like replace here, and we'll replace it. You will get a message like this asking you what to select here. If you're prompted with this option, I recommend doing generate mini maps. And then just pretty much do image selected layer. So whatever selected layer you have, I have this selected layer right here, so that's the one that's gonna export, and I wouldn't mess with the compression at all, and I just leave these defaults here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit export there again, so it's gonna export again, and we can go ahead and do open here, just so we can kind of see the message, see the picture here. And there's the preview. It looks correct. It has run and everything. So with that, we're pretty much done with editing our image here. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of GIMP here. And again, I'm going to discard the changes that I made here. I don't want to save it. I don't want to save the project right now, but I encourage you guys to save the project if you want to come back to it and edit it and re-export it or something like that. So with that, now we got to edit this file right here. So this is an MATS file, pretty much short for materials file. To open this, we need to use the material editor that is provided by Amnesia. So we're going to go into the root directory of Amnesia Rebirth here, and we're going to scroll down until we find the material editor. So we're going to go ahead and click on material editor here. So it's going to open up, and this is what it looks like. And we're going to do file, open. We're going to go into our mods folder. We're going to go into the wake folder, and we're going to go ahead and go into the textured folders, decals, and there's our run message. So we're going to go ahead and hit load file here. And now we have the file loaded. So you'll notice we still have the old one. Since we copied this material file from the old one, it has the other message on here. That's not the one we want. So you can see here the file that we use is the DDS file for the gunpowder. We're gonna go ahead and hit dots, and we're gonna select ours. Again, if this is not already on the screen, you want to make sure. It looks like that crashed for me. But you want to make sure you go to the root directory of Amnesia, and then follow into your custom stories folder, and so on. So let's go ahead and run it again. Sometimes the program can be a bit buggy. We're going to go textures, decals, run message. We're going to hit dots. And instead of going back, I'm just going to select it right here, but you can navigate through and find where yours is. Mine should be in my textures folder. You can see we got it in here. You can see it printed out right there. So that's pretty much all we need to do. You can feel free to mess around with anything else in here, but we're gonna go ahead and just leave the defaults from the original message, and we're gonna save it with this new image, and then we can go ahead and hit exit after we save it. So now that that materials file that materials file has been changed and edited to use our new picture. So in textures, everything should pretty much be the same, but now we have this updated to use this message instead. One note, if you do plan putting other things here that you'd want to access from your script, you're going to need to add it to your resources file here. Since we're going to be manually specifying where our files are, we don't really need it, but I still think it's a good idea to go ahead and add this textures folder to your path here so that you can find anything you throw in there from your script. We won't be really needing it for this episode, but just something I recommend. So I would copy this line here. If you don't already have it, I would type it out. But you should have it if you followed along with my tutorial. And we're gonna go ahead and change this line right here, and we're gonna put in textures. So we want directory path equals textures, and we want to include subdirectories so it reads any subfolders inside the main folder. So with that, I'm going to hit save and close this out. Again, just an extra step, just that way when we put stuff in here, you can read it from your script file. So good to do in case you are going to do anything like that, but not completely necessary for what we're doing today. All right, so now that we have the mesh created and in our folder and everything, we're gonna go ahead and put it into our game now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go to the decals section here. We're gonna hit ... here, and it's gonna be the decal in your decals folder. So if you know what this is, you're probably gonna end up right here when you go to select the decal. So what you're gonna do is just go into your mods folder, go into your custom story folder. Mine is the wake, and then you're gonna go ahead and select the textures folder that we created, decals, and there's our message right there, run message. So we're gonna go ahead and hit OK, and there is our message. As a note, you might not have this setting here. You might have this disabled here, and I'll show you why that's important. So if we put this down here, you'll notice that the message appears kind of like off the wall here, and it's kind of hard to, like, if you grab it, it's kind of hard to push back into place, like it doesn't really move in. So the way you can address that is by changing the depth when you put the decal on. So if you go ahead and use custom depth, you can go ahead and set a specific one. I'm going to set mine to 5 and then go ahead and put it again. And you can see that it's a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and try maybe a higher number here. Maybe let's try like 8. Let's try that. And still looking a little bit far away. Let's see. Yeah, there it looks kind of good. I think there's a spot right here that it kind of likes to plant itself on top of. So we're going to go ahead and grab it now. We're going to go ahead and bring it over here. And then we're going to go ahead and lift it up and resize it. So let's go ahead and center it first, and then we'll go ahead and resize it. So let's resize it to like right there, and then let's shrink it down to about right there. I think that looks pretty good. And then we'll go ahead and move it around here, and there it is. So there's our message in the game, and we got our zoom area and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and hit save here, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and launch up our game and check it out. So let's go ahead and do that and check it out. All right, guys, here we are in our level. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go over to our sign over there. So let's go ahead and do that. And there's our sign. You can see that's our custom mesh that we made. We can click it to zoom in on it and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much else to it. Pretty simple, actually. Just pretty much need to just edit that in an image editor. Like I said, I use GIMP, but you can use whichever one you want. And then you just need to take the old mesh file and then go ahead and use that. So with that, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think in the next time, I've been contemplating for the last few videos, thinking about how I wanted to do this. So I think we're gonna start off pretty basic, and next episode we're probably gonna do puzzles. And what I have in mind for the next episode, I think it's gonna be very basic puzzle using a sledgehammer to like break a door. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to use a sledgehammer to break a door. We're going to do about a basic implementation of it, and then we're going to do a more complex implementation that has a few more like settings and steps. So look forward to that. with regards to puzzles, I'll probably make it a multi-part series, and we'll just talk about different puzzles we can implement. And it'll probably just be an ongoing series where, you know, we'll do puzzles, and then a few episodes later we'll do puzzles part 2 and then part 3. And that's pretty much what I'm thinking right now, because puzzles is very, you know, it's kind of up to how you want to make the puzzle. You got to design the puzzle yourself. So it's mostly compiling all the things we've learned in this series and kind of putting them to use. Again, I'm just going to show you some basic puzzles and show you guys how you can do that. Do pretty much something simple like breaking down a door with a sledgehammer. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look forward to that episode. That's going to be a good one, a fun one. And with that, guys, have a good one. Bye.